Real estate has always been part of me since I was a child. And no matter where my career took me, the idea of home is where I always came back to. I was born in the city of Chicago in a neighborhood called Jefferson Park. My father was a contractor as well as his father before him. In fact, most of my uncles were carpenters. And from an early age, I was surrounded by real estate and construction. Growing up, I was the youngest of 5. And all of my siblings were very active in sports and academics, and I really needed to step up and stand out and create my own identity. When I was 8 years old, I worked for my father. That was a great opportunity for me when I was young because I learned everything from the ground up. While I was in college, I also worked on a 40-story high-rise building downtown. And it was interesting to watch that project as well go from start to finish. It brought me back to earlier memories when I was working along with my father or seeing the projects that my uncles were working on. I was working starting at 7 a.m. until 11 p.m. on that job site. And I did it month after month after month. What was nice about working on this high-rise was it was downtown and the views were absolutely spectacular. Sales and advertising were also very influential to me. You know, growing up in the 1960s, I was very influenced by television and radio. And we would watch all of these programs, Gilligan's Island or whatever the case was. And in between those episodes, you'd see commercial after commercial and after commercial. I was inspired while watching television and seeing a company who had a product or service and the amount of work that they put into creating campaigns to professionally sell those items. There was one product that comes to mind, and that was a campaign for, I think, Life cereal. And they had a young boy at the table with his brothers, and his name was Mikey. And they would say, "Hey, Mikey, what are you eating?" You know? And it gained wide popularity, so everyone knew the brand. Every child in America wanted to buy the brand cereal, Life, that Mikey was eating. I found that fascinating. So after college, I worked in the advertising industry as a creative director. And I did that for a couple of years until I realized that the thing that was going to really make me happy is to be self-employed. And so along with my brother, we started a men's clothing company. And as the saying goes, I literally lost my shirt. But that was okay because I was still very young. And so I took the lessons that I had learned and my knowledge of marketing and advertising, and I started another company which designed and manufactured architectural home furnishings. I started that company in my garage. And before long, I had 35 employees, a 40,000 square foot warehouse, 7 showrooms in the United States, and I was selling products to the who's who's list of designers and retailers all across the country. And there's a reason why I think I found success in the home furnishing business versus the men's retail clothing business. And that is, it brought me back to the very beginning of my understanding of home. You see, now I not only knew how to construct a home from the ground up, but I also understood how to furnish it on the interior as well. I chose to look for new career opportunities, and so decided to sell my home furnishings company along with our manufacturing facility. And I hired a real estate agent to handle the sale of the building. And he went through the normal process of photography and signage and newspaper advertising. But as I looked at that, and I knew the difference between professionally creating a strategy and a campaign to market consumer goods, there was such a need for more, much more beyond what the average agent was doing. And I saw an opportunity. And that's when I knew that the natural next step for me in my career path was to go full-time into real estate and take all of the things that I had learned from early on as a child, the building and construction of the home, the advertising and marketing of products, the understanding of home furnishings both inside and out. And I took all of those skills and knowledge and traits, and I went full force into selling real estate. After years of selling real estate and navigating my way through the recession, I visited family in Sarasota, Florida, and never left. I knew the moment I arrived that this is the place that I wanted to call home. And life for me in Sarasota is wonderful. Beyond the beautiful beaches and the golf courses and all of the coastal cuisine restaurants, I look around and I see happy people. People who love living here. There's nothing like Sarasota, Florida. My father was a really good cook. And being in a big city, I was exposed to all kinds of different culture and diversity. And I found a passion for sampling food from so many different countries and so many regions. And that's always stuck with me my entire life. And so today, I'm passionate about food. And I take a lot of pride in putting really complex meals together that seem so simple. What better place to entertain with your friends and family than in the weather that Florida provides? The importance of entertaining family and friends to me is a lot about the food, but then there's so much more. It's really breaking bread with people, sharing stories, sharing ideas, and really it reinforces the whole idea of being home.
I've done a very nice job.
As I continue my commitment to the concept of home, I think it's the why that really matters. And that's because a home is a place to live, a place to grow, a place for all of us.